Yep. Good evening, everyone. So yesterday we learned about routing, a simple template we designed, routing and route parameters. We learned about how to define route parameters. So yesterday's example, we created a new project completely. So that is shopper template. Now in this, we want some backend integration also. We will create and configure some other APIs. So in this project already some screen is designed. So what we created is an index page. From index, user can start and access any component, and navigation happens through AJAX calls. But we are not explicitly using AJAX, we are using routing. Routing will internally implement AJAX. So that means without reloading the complete page, the new content will come here. For that, we used a simple browser router. How to define a browser router, I showed you. So now we will put some authentication for this. Authentication is everyone must not able to access the contents. So they should have able to access only when they are authorized. Authorized means they are registered. Registered, login successfully, then it should happen. So this is the basic design we created. And we implemented a simple functionality. User can select any category. The category related products will come. Now, when user say home, it will get back to the home. So we implemented the functionalities for them. Now what we need is we can define these details, and when user clicks on details, those details should open. Those details should open. That means we need to navigate to that location. This is also route parameter only. We need to configure route parameters. That means when user clicks on details, what should happen? That product ID must be sent, and only that product ID related details must come. So we need to create another API for means another component. Let's see. So what is the point is when user selects some jewelry products will come. In that there will be a details option. When user clicks on details, the product detail should come. When user clicks on detail, the detail of that product should come. Then how to design, how we can create. So see what I am doing now for that. So we are creating one more component. In the components, I will add a new component called shopper details. Okay. In this, I will add a new file, shopper details.js. Okay. Here we will create export function shopper details, and it should return some page. We will put some class container fluid, and in this we will put a simple heading details. So first we will implement this. Now what should happen? This details should come when user clicks on the details. So let's go to the index page, index shopper index. Here we are having one more route. Here we are configuring one more route. What is the route is, I will create another route. This route will have a path. Path is details. Details is expecting ID, because which product they clicked, that product detail should come. And you know, in fake store, we can filter the products based on ID. So what I will do here, so /:, I'm expecting ID. And if I pass ID, which element should be rendered? Which element should be rendered? Shopper details. So it should render shopper details. Shopper details component should render. This shopper details component should render. Now let's go to the category page. In the category page, so you see, where is that details button? This is details button. On the click of this, it should navigate. Here comes important. This is not a button anymore. We will make it as link. Am I right? We are using a link element here. So this is made as a link. So link, it is configured as a link. So we are using that link here. Now, what should happen when user clicks on this link? Link to. It should navigate to which location? Shopper details. The path is details, but in that it should pass ID also. It should pass ID. That means, how do we define? Suppose I am writing like this, where it is, it will go to details. Details / it should pass the ID. So I cannot pass the ID here directly like this, because it is a string type now. So now I will try like this here. ID must be product ID. That means now we are keeping here an expression. I will write, this is a string. This string contains what? It will navigate to details. Details. In that / we will put plus concatenation. Concat which one? Product. Product dot what? ID. That means to that path we will concat that ID. That means we will pass the product ID into that location. But remember, this becomes so a relative path actually. Now refresh this here. See, actually this is home page. This is the home. I click on jewelry. The jewelry product come. I click on any product. When I click on any product, it goes to details 6. That's good, but it is adding to existing path. That means the new path is added to existing path. No, it should be added to the root path. That means we need to clean up all this. We need to get these details. Then already I told you that, if you remembered, so we have to give what? / defines absolute path. Otherwise it will be a relative path. It will be a relative path. Now you see here, what happens is I click on, so jewelry, this is the jewelry products coming. I click on that, then the product details will open. Now you know how to design. We have to collect that ID product here and display the detail of that product. How we can collect the product detail? We can get the ID now. So let's go. So and design now. Let's go to details, shopper details. Here in the shopper details, we have to collect the parameters. So import, what to import? Use params from React router DOM. After that, now we will have some state. So we will have use state, and we will have use params. parameters. Okay. Sorry, this is use effect. Use effect. We will have these two. One more, we will import Axios because we need to fetch data from API. Right now, here we will declare a constant product and set product. It is use state. It is an object. This is an object. Product is an object. So we are accessing a specific product. That means the product ID details and all we can define. If you don't define, by default, it is what type? This will be considered as an any type. It is an any type. So you can see, so it is currently undefined because value is not supplied into it, right? Already we learned how to handle individual objects, right? We designed that in shopper, the example, right? Shopping example I showed you. Now you see what we do, we will use effect. So use effect uses a binding expression. Okay. And here we have to use Axios. Axios uses the method is get, and it uses the URL, and URL is http://fakestoreapi.com/products/id. ID we have to access. So we will declare a constant. Constant is params. It is of what? Use params. It will collect the route parameter. And we have to access, what is it? So expression. So params dot ID. Now, if it is dot, then that means if it is successful, what we will get? Response. And we will implement that set product. Set product is what? Response. Response dot data. So now that details of the product must be displayed here. Displayed here. That means here I will display the product details. So product details, I will just keep a simple div. So we will put a class row now, and here we will put a div class column 3, and here we will put a class as some column 9, and here we will add an image. This image source is actually from product dot image. So width is some 200 and height is also some 200. The width and height is defined here. Okay. And below, beside this, I will put a data list and data term. Here we have price. We will keep first title, means complete details we will keep here. Data definition, it will come from product dot title. And we have another term, that is price, and data definition, we have product dot price. And we have the details like rating, and data definition we have, so a span, so class name bi star fill, and text success, and here we will keep rating. So product dot rating dot rate, and here we will keep product dot rating dot count. These all details we are displaying in the details page. That means now when user selects any category, and when I click on any product, and the product detail should come. Some problem is there? Any error is there? Let's check. Some console Acha, it is unable to read the image. This is product. It is unable to read the properties. It is showing some issue with rate. What is issue with rate? Product rating dot rate. So means that type is not supported, I think, right? This is the details have type. So that means it is not aware of what type of data is coming here. So this is having what ID? ID is what type? Number. We have another one. Title is a string. Another one. Price is a number. Another one. Rating is an object. Rate is a count. Another one. Count is also number. Okay, that is fine. Okay. These details you need to render. Fine. That is the detail of that particular product it is showing here, right? Now let's go here. I go to jewelry and I click on any product details and the detail of that product will come. So this is the home. We navigate to any category and in this we select any product and that product details will open here. Now actually sometimes what we do, we put back here. That means from here we say back to categories, back to products. Actually user can go to the category here. So how they can go to the category? So what we need to do here, we need to define. Let's go in the details page at the bottom here. So in this column, I will create a div and here I will create a link. In this link, I say back to what category or which category I can keep that here. Back to here. What is it? Product dot what category? Back to product category. We can display that. Now here it should link to which location? You see, we have to go to category and pass the category name now. That means here we need to define link to what slash category. So again slash plus we need to add what is it? Product dot category. This is nothing but, so you can see there is back to category. So that means what is the category name here? It will display. I click on jewelry and I click on any product, the product details and back to jewelry. When I say back to jewelry, it will get back to the jewelry. I click on electronics, the electronics will come. I select any product, the product details will come. And when it says back to electronics, I click on back to electronics, it will get back to the electronics and display. This is the navigation how we create. That means we are configuring the navigation from one component to another. Here the key point is transporting data from one component to another in the form of parameters. So we need to create route parameters and we need to pass data into route. We have to collect the parameter and filter and display the data here. This is a simple approach of navigation. Now Here, what we want to do is we want to implement authentication. Authentication means whenever anybody opens, home page will come, but you cannot access these categories. If you click on this, any of these category, then it should navigate to login screen. It should navigate to login screen. And that login screen should ask, are you a registered user? Then login. No, you are a new user, then you register. After registering, then it can provide you access. But now, how to store the data that is registered and how to verify the data? How we can manage that? For that, in real world, we need some database, we need some API. Generally, people, while learning, they learn an internal token system. That means actually JWT tokens are there. Many times React, Angular, all these people, instead of using a database, managing data there, they will use an internal JSON system. In that JSON system, they can store the data. They can access the data from there and use. But I will show you a complete end-to-end with the database, right? Now let's create a database and create an API of our own to communicate with the database and store the data, bring the data from there related to users. Let's see how we can do that. For that, you need to do some extra work. This example I will upload, right? But in order to handle that, you need to do some extra work. So we will see how to handle. So the concept of MERN stack. MERN stack example we will see. Actually, MERN stack, generally MERN stack developers are there. In companies, I hope you people heard mean stack, MERN stack. These days, we are asking UI full stack, right? But actually, mean stack, MERN stack people are there. Still companies wants them. Mean stack means, so here MERN stack means actually M stands for MongoDB. MongoDB is database. That means you need a knowledge of database. E is Express. Express is a middleware. Middleware is a software framework which handle communications between client-side app and server-side app. The communication between client and server app is managed by middleware. And here R is React. React is front end. This is front end. And N is Node.js. Node.js is actually server side. Server side. Now we need to implement this example. So you have to create a database and design one. Remember, we are already using fake store API, but that is not our API. So we will create our API for storing user details, fetching user details and all, right? Let's see. For that, first few things you have to do. I am not teaching you MongoDB and Express and Node.js. I am just giving one example. Then you can practice. Without learning also, we can easily handle it, right? What you do is first in your computer, first we will go with database. Build database. Remember, I am not teaching you MongoDB. I will just give you a simple technique of creating data, right? So what you have to do is first you have to download and install MongoDB on your PC. Actually, MongoDB server you have to download and install. Server. This MongoDB server, it will get, so one server, another one, it will get a client. Actually, the client is MongoDB Compass. That is the client. Server is the location where data is stored, and the client is used for managing the data. You have to download and install this MongoDB. I will give you a direct link. You can download from there. This is MongoDB download link is there. Yeah. Actually, you need MongoDB community server, directly this one. I will copy this URL. Yeah. So this URL, you can directly get it from here. So you see MongoDB community server is there. You can download that MongoDB community server. Just like you done your Node.js, you can download and install. And once you download MongoDB server, actually MongoDB server is successfully installed, you have to start server. Generally, to start server, why we need to start server? Because sometimes in your computer you may have a lot of servers. Then other servers may suppress MongoDB server. That means MongoDB server is there, but it is not running. So make sure that it is running. If it is running, no problem. Otherwise, you have to manually start, because accidentally many times it turns off. It stops. You have to turn it on. So you can go to services. You can go to run. In run, you have services.msc. These are nothing but Windows services. In that, you check MongoDB server, and you make sure that the MongoDB server is started. It is started, right? So what you need to do is, let's go open source services. This is MSC. This is services. This is our Windows services. In the Windows services, so make sure that MongoDB service is running. MongoDB server is running. You can see these are the services. In this list, you will find MongoDB server. This is the MongoDB server, and its current status is running. Sometimes the status may be stopped. You make sure that right click and make sure that you started it. Right? Once the server is running, now what you can do is open MongoDB Compass. Actually, MongoDB Compass is a GUI tool. It is a GUI tool for managing data. That means generally, you know, MySQL, SQL Server, Oracle, all these are SQL based or SQL based. You say SQL or SQL. That means we need a structured query. Select from table, insert into. But MongoDB is non-SQL. It is non-SQL. Non-SQL means you don't need SQL queries. Here everything works like simple JavaScript methods. So reading, inserting and all. No SQL queries. And GUI tool advantage is without writing any commands, you can create your database. You can manage your data. You can create, you can manage your data. For that, a separate tool will be installed. When you install MongoDB, you will get MongoDB Compass. Now what you have to do is open MongoDB Compass. Let's open MongoDB Compass. This is MongoDB Compass tool. Okay, this is MongoDB Compass tool. Now in this, what you have to do is, first you have to connect with MongoDB server. So after open Compass, connect with MongoDB server. Already MongoDB server started, you have to connect to it. Actually, the connection string is this: MongoDB : /127.0.0.1 Mongo, that is Mongo, and this one we have to use MongoDB only, na? Yeah. So we have 127.0.1/27017. That is the port number. This is the MongoDB server address. It is standard in every computer. It will be same. So you have to connect here. You see, it is asking connection URL. Now you need to define that here. So I use MongoDB : /127.0.0.1:27017. This is the connection string. From any technology to connect with MongoDB, we need this connection string. Now I click on connect here, and you can see it connects with the server. After connecting with server, it will show you all the databases here. You see, a lot of databases are already here. In my computer, I'm having already all these databases. Usually you will get admin, config, and local and test. These four will be default. Other databases we created. So actually we have to create a database here. Just you go to databases. You go to databases and create a new database. You have to create a new database. Here, some important terms are there. Once you connect here, some terminology is little different. Suppose SQL based and non-SQL based, that means in MongoDB. Actually, in SQL base, what happens? You have in SQL base, usually you have database. Here also you will have database. Generally in database, data is stored in tables, but we don't have tables here. We call collection. In MongoDB, a table is considered as a collection. And usually here you will have rows, or you call them as records. Table contains records. Every row is a record. Here we will have document. That means every row is considered as a document. And usually we have field. Here also we have field. Field is nothing but user ID, password, all these are fields, right? So this is basic. Actually, SQL base have joins. Here we have embedded documents. We have embedded document. So these are the term differences will be there a little bit. So you have to create a database. In that database, you have to create a table. Table is called as a collection. In that collection, we need to add documents. Documents means they are nothing but rows, records. And one easy way for us is all these documents are JSON type, means JavaScript object notations. So it is easy for us. So anybody who knows JavaScript, he can easily work with MongoDB. So see here, we will create a database. I will give the database name Shopper. Shopper is the database name. That is, Shopper is the database name. In that it is asking table name. By default, we will keep one table called users. Users is the table. That means all the users information we will keep here. That means whoever registers, his details we will store here. And users can log in from here. That means who can log in, whose details are present in this table. Only those people can log in. So we will maintain users. Okay. Create database, and database is created. You see shopper database is created. In that shopper database, there is a collection called users. In that users, there is no document. There is no record. We will create one sample document. So to create a document, we have to create collection. Create collection is table. Already table is there. Open the table. Now in this table, we have to add data. We have to add data. That means you have to just select add data, insert document. Import file means if you have already data in any JSON file, you can import it. Directly JSON file is converted into data. So we will select insert document, and you have to insert in the format of JSON type. That means we need to put an object, and you know how JSON works. Same JavaScript types. Here I will use user name. I will say user ID. Okay. User ID, I will give string type. Suppose John underscore NIT. That is user ID. So for registration, I need another one is user name. User name is just John. Okay. I need another one password. Password is some John @11, and I need one more email. Email is some John@gmail. Okay, and I want some in the registration, like I want age. Age must be a number. Okay, I want one more is mobile. Mobile must be some string +919876543210. Like this, we define details. In MongoDB, data is added in the form of JSON. Right now, just click insert. This is the data. Okay, in click insert, the record is inserted. One detail is ready. That one is enough, because other details we will get from registration form. We will create a registration form. From there, he will fill up, and inserts that will come and store here. Right? All the registered people's details will be here. So what I have done, it's a simple process, is the next point after connecting. So create a new database. So database. So here database name we given as shopper. In that collection name we given as users. Now, so here open users collection and add a new document. And actually this is the document we added. That's the document I added. So data is ready. This is enough. That means you set up database here. Okay. So database is ready. You install MongoDB, start the server, connect with server using Compass. Compass is client tool, and you create one database, create one table in database, and put some data. Sample one data is enough. Okay. Now, can React directly communicate with any database? No front-end technology in the world can do that. Right? They cannot directly communicate with the database. For that, we need what? So we need server side. We need server side API. We need server side APIs. Actually, how the process works, generally, I hope you people know basic web architecture. Huh? Basic web architecture. So web architecture. Yeah, this is the basic web architecture. You know the basic web architecture. Usually, this is a simple web application architecture. In the back end, we have database, and in the front end, we have client-side application. Now we need to communicate with the backend database. Already database is ready. We are using MongoDB. Now we need server side Node.js and Express. We need to create an API. With that, we can handle the communication with the database. So now we need a server side API. Just like fake store API, we need to create our own API, which can do two things. One, get the data of users and insert data into users. That means we need read and write. We need one get and we need one post. Let's see. And this you can do in Java, .NET, PHP, Python, or we are doing in Node.js. Currently we are doing in Node.js. So let's see server side API. For that, what we will do is first step. So in your React project, add a new folder. You have to add a new folder server. Create one folder server. Let's go. This is our React. In our React project, I will add a new folder directly server. This is folder. All the server side logic we will create here. All the server side logic we will create here. Now, generally, Node.js server side also JavaScript. That means Node.js uses JavaScript as language. So Express Node.js requires just simple JavaScript. So what we have to do is create a folder server and add a new server side JavaScript file. You have to add a new server side JavaScript file. We will give the name of this file as some server.js. You can give any name for that. Now this contains all the server side logic, right? I will give a new file server.js. Okay. This contains server side logic. And actually Node.js server side is lot, so much is there. Here we will write a simple program. This program will communicate with database, get the data from database and return to client in the form of JSON, and collects data from user, inserts data into the database. Two things it should do. Then you need a lot of more libraries here. You need more libraries. So what you have to do is, after that, you have to install following libraries. Libraries for server-side scripting. For server-side scripting. For server-side scripting, you need some libraries to install. npm install. You need to install MongoDB library. This is the library that provides all the classes, modules, which are required for communicating with MongoDB. If your backend database is Oracle, there will be a separate library for Oracle. MySQL, SQL Server, for every database, different library will be there. First, you have to install that library. For MongoDB, we will have a MongoDB library. Okay. Next, to create API, you have to install Express. Express is required for APIs. To create and configure API, we need Express. Next, we have one more problem. That problem is, when you are working with API, if data is posted from one server to another server, then a server may think the data is suspicious and it may block the data. So to avoid that blocking, to make sure that the data is not blocked by servers and allow data from cross origin, you need to install another library called CORS. CORS is very much, remember, CORS is not required for reading data. CORS is required for sending data. If a API is just reading the data and showing you, CORS is not required. When you are posting, then it is required, because suspicious data is identified on post. When you are posting, that's the reason, make sure that you are using CORS. Actually, in old versions, we need one more concept called body parser. Body parser is nothing but it is used to convert data into JSON. But now latest Express is having internally body parser. That's the reason we don't need a separate body parser library. Body parser is nothing but it will collect the data from your form and convert that data into JSON, and it will send into database. For that, we need a separate library called body parser, but from latest Express version, body parser is internally available. Internally available with Express, you can directly use from Express. So that is enough. So we need these 3 libraries extra to install. Remember, these are for server-side scripting. For server-side scripting. So let's install here. Let's open the terminal. So here itself we will install. Remember, server-side, client-side, both logics are same place. npm install, and it is what? MongoDB, and save. We are downloading and installing MongoDB. And okay, MongoDB is installed. Then we need npm install. Another one is Express. Express also we will install. Express is also installed. One more we need, npm install CORS. CORS is also installed. Now we need to write the server side logic. We need to create APIs. Remember, now server side also routing will be there. Server side routing. Already you saw that. Actually, if you remember, till now we used everywhere fake store. This is fake store API. In fake store API, if I want first product details or second or third product details, taking time, yeah. If I want any specific product details, you remembered here we were using like this, slash what products, slash what category, slash what electronics. Am I right? All are slashed na? These are all route parameters. These are all route parameters. So it is actually server side routing. This server side routing is fetching the data and displaying. I told you already, routing is both client side and servers. APIs are using routing actually. So let's see now. Here we have to create the logic. First, we need to import. We need to import. So Node.js imports any library by using require. By using require. Require which module? Module is, first we need MongoDB module. In MongoDB module, we need a class called Mongo client, which is used for connecting with database. This is import technique of Node.js. But whatever the class imports, you see this is a module. In that module, we have a class called Mongo client. This is class. And you need to access the members of that class after importing. Then we will create a reference Mongo client. So is equal to that. That means we are importing the library and we can access the library with reference of this. Generally, we use import and name, but here we have to use require. Similarly, we need to import another one, express. How to import require? Require what? Express. We need to import another one. What is it? Course is equal to what? Require course. Okay, this is done. Now first, we have to connect with MongoDB. To connect with MongoDB, we need a connection string. And MongoDB server connection string is MongoDB:/127.0.0.1 to 7017. That is MongoDB connection string. Different database, different connection strings will be there. For example, Oracle will have like Scott username, Tiger password. MySQL will have some username, host is root, username is some root, host is local host. So password is some 1, 2, 3, 4 something. Every database have a different connection string. This is MongoDB connection string, right? And now we need to create an API. And API is created by Express. We need to create a server-side app. So what we will do, var app is equal to Express. App is equal to Express. That means we are creating a server-side application which is managed by which framework? Express. Now this app is an API which can have the methods like get. It can have the methods like post. Now what is the get path? Get path is slash. We will give the path is users. I will give users. What this have to do? This have to return all users present in the database. That means it uses a callback function. Every server-side callback function have two objects, a request object and we have a response object. This is a simple Lambda style. What is the purpose? Generally in server-side programming, the major functionality is managed by two objects, request and response. What is the role of request object? Request object's responsibility is request the data from client, right? That means from client, in client side, if any data is there, that is requested by this object. Generally, client side data will be in query string. Client side data will be in form. Client side data may be in cookies. Client side data may be in various locations. We access that by using request. So what is the purpose of request object in any server side technology? Entire functionality is managed by two objects. One is request, another one response. Request object will fetch information from client. Response object will send response to client. What is the type of response sent to client? It can be HTML response, it can be file response, it can be JSON response. So now what this, remember this is server side route. Now what this have to do, it should connect with the database. How to connect with the database? We have to use Mongo client dot connect method. Mongo client class is having a connect method. Connect with which database? Connection string. It is asking connection string. Connection string is what we defined connection string. This is connection string. Connection string is this one. MongoDB : / and all. It is connection string. Okay. It uses a callback function. This callback function will have error if there is a problem in connection. It will have a client object if it is successful in connection. If there is a problem in connecting with this, error will return. If there is no problem in connection, the client object will return. What this client object can do, it can connect with the database inside the connection. That means if your connection is successful, client object is responsible for communicating with database. So we will write a logic here. If there is no error, that means if there is no problem. If there is no error, then client object have to connect with database. So client object will use a method called DB. Client object will use a method called DB. That means actually first we need to access. Here we will write here like this. What we will do is var database is equal to. So this client object will have a method called DB. This DB method is going to connect with a database. Which database? Our database name is what? Shopper. It will pull the database from there. That means if connection is successful, we can access the database called Shopper. And what is the reference for database? Database. That is the reference. Now, in this database, we have a table called users. We have to read all the data from users table. That means in the database, there is a table. Tables are here called as collection. So what we have to do? Database dot collection. Database dot collection. Collection, what is the collection name? Collection name is what? Users. That means what it will do? That means it is going to access the table called users. And generally in SQL based database, to read data from a table, we need queries like select star from table. But here we can simply use a find method. We can use a find method. So find method is going to read all the records. That means actually find method can use queries like ID is equal to 1. But if you put an empty query, means it can return all records. Actually, this is like array. Generally, how to read all the data from array? We have find filter methods in JavaScript. MongoDB uses same. Now what find method will do? It will read all the records in that database table. After that, we have to convert to array. We need to convert that into array. We have to convert that into array. Array uses a callback function. That means this array will have again a callback error and it will have documents. That means if there is a problem in reading, it will return error. So if there is no error, it will return all documents. These documents we need to send as a response. Then what we will do here, we will write if there is no error, then response object have to send. Response object have to send. What data it should send? Documents. This is ready. That means what this API will do? It will connect with MongoDB. It will connect with a database in MongoDB. It will access the data from this table. It will return that into array and send that array to you as a response. This is what this API is going to do. As of now, we created only one method. Okay. Now you created a server. Remember, this server side app is created, but server side app also should run. That means we need to start this app. For that, we have to use app.listen. Listen is nothing but the word to tell that server started. You saw already in React. In React server listening on HTTP colon which one 3000. So server listen on which port number? We can use different port number. Already our React is running on 3000. I will use a different 8080, some port number. And we will put a message console.log. We will say server started. And server started, its address is this :/127.0.0.1 : what is it? 8080. This is the server side logic. Currently, we don't need to use this course because course is required later. When we are posting, it is required. Currently, we have only one method. What is it? Get. Let's run this program. Any server-side JavaScript program, we have to compile using a node compiler. So open this location. Open this location in integrated terminal. That means it will open that location in terminal. This is the location. This is the place where that file is. And here we have to run node server.js. Node server.js. It says server started. Server started. Now let's request. It is just like fake store. Right now open browser and request that here. http://127.0.0.1 : port number is 8080 / in that we have users. That is the request. Only one request is there. And I will hit enter. It should get the data if the connection is successful. Is there any problem? It is there. We will put a log also. Means if there is any connection issues and all, we will put a log. Log means here we will write. So here we will write. So else what? Console.log. We will put an error. Here also we will put else. Console.log error. Let's compile one more time. And we are requesting here users. Some here responding. The server is not responding. Let me check. Refused to connect. Some connection refused means the port number. We'll change port number some 5000. Because sometimes the port number may be already in use. 5000 is the port number. There may be connection in general method. I will do one thing first. I will add a ordinary app.get. So slash means if user not requesting anything, request and response. We will put response dot send. So we will put here, so API home. Okay, this is one method we are having. And I need to recompile this. 5000, it's working. So the problem is in database. Let's see where is the problem. So here there may be issue in the connection string of MongoDB. This is MongoDB colon. So this is also working fine. For example, I will say response dot send. What is it? It is users. I will compile one more time here. Yeah. Let's request here what users. Fine, that's working. So the problem is in database. Let's create it. Here Mongo client dot connect with URL. URL is connection string, and it uses a callback function. Error. Another one is client object. If there is no error, then we will use client object dot, we have a method called db. This is what shopper. Database dot collection. Collection is users. So it is to array. Error and documents. So somewhere this client object having issue. Let's check MongoDB Compass services. Some problem in the connection only, right? Up to connection string is fine. Here only issue is coming, right? Let me check this connect method once. Mongo client connect method. Connection string is enough. Users dot find. A callback. So this is also lot of changes happened here in client MongoDB client. Here I think means actually earlier this connect is just a callback, but in the I think Mongo client version also changed. They made a callback then. That's the reason I went to the definition. It uses a callback. Let's check this to array. To array is what? So let's go to the callback. It is also using a then. On field response.json what? Response.send. Okay. They made a lot of changes in Mongo client. Yeah. This library changed. They made the changes. So earlier it was not like that. That's the reason I need to see its definition, how they design. Because just previously, not even 1 month back also, actually, we don't need a promise of then. Understand? Actually, this uses callback functions inside, right? So I think I will show you Visual Studio Code. I will show you the previous APIs. Yeah. This have server side logic. Yeah, this is the previous approach actually. This is the previous approach. So we use connect. Connect uses a connection string and it uses a callback function. In that callback function, we have client object. Array also uses a callback function. Now, recently they changed it to a promise. That means we have to use then and catch. So it is just not even 1 month also, previous batch actually. It's okay. So we need to know the changes. Otherwise, a lot of issues will be there. So MongoDB client changed means everybody cannot catch that, right? So we need to explore the logic, what is behind it and see it, right? It's fine. Actually, earlier, this is the process. We have a just callback function. Now they changed it. They changed this to promise. Promise means it uses a then. Errors are catched by catch. That means they made better. Because if it is a promise, then we can use easy error handling, good error handling. So that's the reason I need to change my syntax. So, and you see, this is fetching the data. So users is getting the data of that user in the database. Now this URL we have to give to our React. React will fetch and it can interact. Now we need to create one more method. What is the method? Post. In the post method, we have to collect the data from form and insert into database. That we will see tomorrow, right? If you can create the post method also, then we can use this in our front end, right? In the API, we have to create two methods. One method is get, another method is post. So reading the users and submitting the users. Okay, na? Then that we'll see in tomorrow's session. Okay, right. After tomorrow's session, I will upload this example because it is incomplete. After we finish, then I will upload this example. Okay, right.